Hey y'all, hey, we back for another review of All the Queen's Men. We are on season 2, episode 14, entitled Retribution. Let's jump right into it. Alright, so in the wake of Babyface slapping Patty across that balcony by accident, his ass has somehow snuck back into the party unnoticed. Which, sir, there's about 50 people in this party. How in the hell did nobody see you and Patty interact? You and Patty go to the balcony. Patty beat you up a little bit on the balcony. You slap her over the balcony. You, hearing the impact, come back in and escape sight unseen. It's a bit far fetched, Mr. Perry, but we're gonna go with it. Anyway, as he's trying to pack his stuff, trying to get out of there in haste, the new curly headed dude from New Orleans. That's his accent. So, Mr. Curly New Orleans is trying to talk to him, asking, he's trying to inquire about Eden and Madam and Blue. He's just asking questions, but this is not the time nor the place. And so he is taking Babyface's lack of conversation as jealousy, because he's gonna be there, he gonna make all the money. So now he thinks, he got some beef with Babyface because Babyface don't want to tell him what he wants to know in this moment. Babyface got a lot going on and the block is hot and he got to get out of Dodge. So this ain't the time to do no job interview. So you gotta relax. You just gotta chill. He got a lot going on. All right. Everybody's outside looking at the car, and let's just think here. If you were able to pull off all of that sight unseen, nobody saw you, and you were able to get out of that apartment. I mean, you were already in there, but nobody saw the you and Patty, scenario, right? Goes outside, and people are standing around the car looking at Patty, and this dumb son of nothing goes to the doggone car, and he's gawking like everybody else, as if you did not facilitate this lady being on top of this crushed car, dead, right? Basically, you showing your faces to potential witnesses. Once you had got out of that doggone apartment, you should have went somewhere else and not join the ooh-ah squad looking at the body, is what I'm saying. Anyway, and it low-key looked like he was crying before he walked off. And you just let me find out you got feelings for Miss Patty, for Miss Peppermint Patty, is what I'm saying. Because y'all had enough going on to last a lifetime. Anyway. All right. Back at the club, Blue finally goes back outside to talk to the rednecks, and they've been waiting for an hour, and they're getting antsy. And she tells them, like, listen, y'all gotta wait. I talked to her. Ain't nothing I can do. Y'all gotta wait till after the club closes, and you'll talk to her then. So while they just, giving bravado, they still had to tuck their tails and go back to their cars and wait. Which proves to not be in their best interest in the long run, but they still out there waiting around. They still gonna wait around to see what's gonna happen. All right. Concierge shows up to talk to Madam, and his brother's with him, Mr. Fernando. He's new to the operation, and he's going to be her new point person, which is going to be her new point of contact. She does not want to deal with anybody new because, sir, I didn't even know you had a brother. Now I'm responsible for, running things through him. I don't know him. Why do I want to deal with him? So they're having this little back and forth banter, and she was like, well, what's the real tea? Like, what's really true? Why is this man here? And he confirms, like, well, the real reason is it's because of my wife. Oh, so you scared of her? No, not even a little bit. But again, they are a chess and not checkers type of operation. So we're keeping the peace right now because we don't want no big major blowout. Like, we're in the middle of some things. We got things going on. So no, I'm not. But if she knows that we're still in contact and she's still feeling the way, she's going to come after you. So in order to keep this peaceful, we need some distance. Okay. All right. I appreciate that. You're looking out for me or whatever. And also, additionally, his brother needs to get back into the game, get reacclimated, knock the dust off, because he's been in prison and he's rough around the edges. He's a hothead, and we need we need Madam to get him in line if he's going to be if he's going to be Concierge's right-hand man. At some point, he needs to kind of work his way up to that, and she's been tasked with doing that job for him, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, because if he's your right-hand man in your organization, training him under Madam's organization, how is that beneficial? because you guys are two totally separate entities doing two totally separate types of crime. I don't know why she's the mentor, but we're gonna see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, and she tells him, like, listen, possibly, I might be willing to take him on, but what makes you think that I won't end him, get him out of here if he gets too far out of line, which is what I'm willing to do to anybody else. Like, don't expect no special treatment. And he tells her, like, okay, and what gives you the inclination that I want the same thing to your sister? And she's like, oh, please, have at it. You'll be doing me a favor. Because, that sister has been the bane of her existence for quite some time. And the only reason she hadn't really chopped her head off was for the sake of her dad. And so she claims she don't really care about it. No ways tied, no ways. So, whatever. They come to some sort of concession, and she's going to show him the ropes in exchange for a 3% share of the money that they're going to be laundering through her businesses, which is about $500,000 a month, whatever it is, $500K, very easy money. So she concedes and she agrees to do it. She's still skeptical, but she's gonna play nice for now. Blue calls, what's the lady? I don't know her name. The lady that she left at the apartment. She's still there. She turned her phone off. She don't want her husband to track her. She'll be there when Blue gets off. Sure. I don't know. Something's still giving me undercover for her because it's just fast, hard, and long. No, I don't want these. It's just fast, suspicious, and just overwhelming. Like, you came out of nowhere, and it's just giving way too fast, way too much, way too fast. That's what it's giving. Yeah. Fernando was already rubbed the wrong way by Blue. They're already in a pissing match, of course. Moving right along. So the rednecks update their new leader, because the other brother got pushed out the however many story windows for fooling up with Madam. And yeah, he tells Derek, the new hillbilly in charge, that she ain't even bothered talking to us yet. And he's like, okay, well, call me on the way back. I got some business to handle. Which means he's about to go over here and attempt to R-word Amp. Just nasty. Anyway, he tells Amp, like, yo, auntie don't give a damn about you. She ain't even talked to us yet. Or whatever. He's also very, very anxious about getting in Amp's pants and determining what he has in his holster. Okay? That's his number one mission, and it's very strange. And Amp is like, you untie me, and I'll show you exactly what I'm untie me, and I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm working with. Just come on, yeah, do it if you're not scared. He was like, listen, I ain't scared of you, but I also ain't stupid. And that might have been the smartest thing you've done in these last 2 episodes, but it's not gonna fare you well in the end anyway. It ain't smart enough. All right, so Doc ain't all right in the least. Everybody's talking to him. Midnight is talking to him in this moment, and he's just flabbergasted. Like, everything is kind of washing over him, and he really can't believe that Teresa is really gone, and she really walked out in front of a bus and ended it for herself and her child. And Midnight is telling him, like, you need to rest, but he can't with all that he has going on. No side though. I'm just gonna let it go. Madam also talks to Doc, and she tells him, like, listen, where's your jacket? And he's like, it's in the locker. And she's like, listen, go put it on and do what you got to do. Essentially, you play the game, dress the shit up, make it nice for me, and you're welcome, basically. So she also tells him, like, listen, I believe you, but Blue and Tommy, not so much. So let's just avoid them for a little while. I'm gonna keep them at bay, but they ain't really believing your story. So just keep your eyes out, because the block is really hot when it comes to them two. And we know when it comes to Tommy and Blue, like, they gonna outgun each other when it comes to Madam. Like, both of them is willing to die by that thing. So yeah, you might just want to calm down. All right. They are tipping out for the night, and Casanova wants to take Dime on a date. He wants to take her out to dinner. And he's just trying to get in anywhere he can. Like, he's trying to get in where he fit in to get information. And if you already just told this partner lady in the car that they are figuring you out, I'm not sure why you would keep pushing. It would be wise to actually lay low, just chill out for a minute, do your little script job, and just relax. But you gonna keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and Madam is gonna push your ass out of a 10th floor story window. That's all I'm saying. All right. Trouble runs up on Casanova and tells him, go ask Tommy, the night is over, go ask him for your recorder back. This doggone fool gonna do exactly that. And Tommy hit him with the Debo, like, what mic? What recorder? This is my stuff. I took it. So I said you ain't getting it back. I said what I said. Find you something safe to do. And so we knew that was a failed mission, but Trouble has a greater mission of her own. She walks him to his car, and a bunch of, ruffians come out of the shadows, and they about to teach him to raise his hand at a woman, because he did raise his hand at Trouble as if he was going to smack her when she took his recorder. Granted, she snatched his recorder. He was listening to his music, which not really, because you're recording us, because you're undercover. I don't know, whatever. They were just going back and forth about that, and he was about to get jumped. He was about to get taught a lesson, but Blue shows up right in that moment and disperses the situation. And then she tells Trouble, like, listen, we don't need no cops here. The block is hot enough. You need to chill out. This your last warning, basically. So now, she forwarded the plan, and Trouble is just going to have to keep an eye out on Casanova. If she really wants favor with Dime, Madam, Blue, she wants favor with everybody, her job, it would be wise for her to keep an eye on Casanova, maybe collect some evidence, and then present all of that to Madam in order to get in her good graces, since that's where you want to be so bad. Not by being a nag, and not by being a creep. Okay? All right. Okay. Now, this is where we get to the action. There's always the big action scene in most episodes. So, Madam gives Blue the okay, like, okay, coast is clear. Everybody gone. She already told everybody to get out, including Dime. Dime wants to stay. And she's like, no, ma'am. No, ma'am, not at all. You don't get to be a part of this part of the business, so I need y'all to go. Matter of fact, everybody that's in here, clear this thing out. Go home. We got it from here. So, Tommy is gonna go turn some music up because it's about to get lethal. Go cut the music up. Tell them to come in. We're gonna hash this little negotiation out. So she tells Tommy also, while you doing stuff, sweep the place for bugs and make sure that nothing has been placed in here. So we're all clear. We're good to go. All right. So they're telling her that they're gonna get even for their brother. Just talking cash money shit, really. And they got her money and her nephew, and they don't take too kindly, to her doing stuff to their family members. And immediately, cup high out. She shoots another one of the brothers in the head. So now the second brother is going to be with the Lord. And so she's like, listen, where is my nephew? And so everybody else that's still alive at this point is just standing around looking like they don't know whether to say anything, to run, to piss their pants. They just caught between a rock and a hard place at this point. And simultaneously, Madam is eating some chicken wings, some hot wings, or whatever she's eating, and she is blasting kneecaps off. She is just shooting people. So, all right, where's my nephew? Nobody else has nothing to say. Pike, kapow. Couple more people, going to be with the Lord. And then, I think there's about one of them left, and I think he's also a brother. Or is he a cousin? He might be a brother, because he was there originally, the guy that beat Blue up when she went to look for the money some time ago. Anyway, and she asked him, like, listen, where's Amp? And so Curly Hair finally want to want to speak up and give her the location of the warehouse or whatever. And she still shoots me in the kneecap, which, that's fair. You done put me through more than enough. You done took my money. You done took my right hand man, Blue. I had to go get her back. Now I had to come take my money again, and I got to come take my nephew. She should have did more than busted his kneecap. So she shot him in the kneecap, and he's still talking trash, and she shot him again. And but she did it in a way where, I don't want you to die. I just want you to be able to be the one to go back and give the message to Derek, which is, definitely what happens, along with a consolation prize that we'll get to in a second. Yeah. Moving right along. All right, so Midnight is at home, and Midnight is He's giving the quiet storm, baby. He got about 4 of them people's daughters in there doing what the grown folks do, right? And there's a knock on the door, and it is a feverish knock. It sounds like the police, but it ain't the police. It's Babyface, and he really want to talk to Midnight. So these girls got to go, and Midnight is looking like, boy, you're messing up my thing. You're messing up the church's money. But y'all go ahead. I'm gonna call y'all back. Call y'all later. But what's going on, Babyface? All right, so he tells Midnight, about Patty and the situation with her being deceased now, and so Midnight is immediately into action because, okay, I know the doc got a body or two under his belt. Now, Babyface has one under his belt. Now, it wasn't in service to Madam like Doc's, but hell, he got one anyway. I feel like Midnight, he was probably the original, top 4, 3 amigos, whatever you want to call it. And so I feel like he already got some under his belt as well. He immediately jumped into action and he knew what to do. So he said, hey, did anybody see you? Well, nobody actually saw us go out on the balcony. He was like, okay, cool. Then she jumped. And he looked like, that's not going to hold up. What do you mean? Yeah, Teresa walked down in front of the bus, and she jumped over the balcony. That whatever it is, it's your story. This is the story. This is what we're sticking to it. You gonna lay low over here. You're not going home because there's a warrant that's already out that Patty put on you, so you can't go home because they're gonna be over there. So you're gonna you're gonna sleep on my couch. I'm gonna keep minding my business, doing what I was doing, and you just remember to stick to your story. So I don't know if Babyface. Hopefully that Babyface gonna be able. Like I said in another review, stop calling that man Babyface because that's a full-grown face. It's nothing baby about it. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know how he's gonna slither up out of this one because this is pretty serious. But I guess if Doc can get out of killing that other lady, then potentially, Babyface can weasel his way out of this. All right. So, curly-haired redneck limps back, to the brother's warehouse, and he has to take the information back. If he doesn't release Amp in 3 minutes, Madam is coming in. And as a consolation prize, he has a duffel bag full of the heads of all those people that went to talk to Madam for him. So you sent her a message and she sent you back some consolation prizes. Fair trade, right? Sure. All right. So she's in the car talking to Tommy. She's like, listen, it's been 3 minutes. It's been 3 minutes. If my nephew not out of there, I'm going in there. I'm going to get him. I'm going to get mine. So Tommy's trying to talk her out of it, but again, once she has her mind on it, that's all she's going to do. So she goes in there and there's a gun to pause. Let me go back. Like I said, she was telling Blue and some of the other people, like, hey, I know that this lady's recording us, the investigator. The block is hot. I need y'all to move cautiously, and I need y'all to move carefully. And then in the same breath, she runs in guns a-blazing to go save Amp and to get her money back. Which, righteous cause? I don't know. Or, if it was somebody else's family member, would you just be like, that's the risk you took? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like she wouldn't have that same, well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe. I could be wrong because she has gone to bail out all of her men and all the people that work for her. So she might have the energy across the board. Maybe. Nephew would just have to just hold up for a little second. I don't know. It might have been a better way to do it, basically, which is what concierge has been telling her most of the time anyway. But we'll move right along. Anyway, and so she tells him, like, listen, I know I killed your brother, but I didn't start the war. Like, I don't bother nobody until they bother me. So this is where we are at. And then she offers a trade that she never really tells him what it is about because he didn't live long enough to hear the trade out. Anyway, he's talking, but he is outdone at the fact that she sent this man a duffel bag full of heads. Like he's having trouble putting sentences together. He's just like you really sent me a bag? Like, he cannot fathom that this little tiny lady chopped off the heads of his men and sent them back to him in a duffel bag. Yes. And I told you, you do not want her to come here and get me because it's not going to fare well for anybody. Hell, including me probably. So maybe you should let me go. You didn't want to listen, so now you got to deal with the consequences. All right. So he issues one final threat, and Madam, I don't even know where she pulled his blade from. She pulls a blade from somewhere and slits his throat and just lets him fall to the floor to bleed out. And so they're good to go. Amp is untied. It's time to go, and they realize that their phones don't have signals, which is the inclination like the cops or somebody is here, and there's a jammer somewhere, and we ain't got no way to go. And Madam's like, listen, we got a plan. Amp, you take this gun. I know you're on probation. Take this gun because we may have to shoot our way up out of here, but we getting up out of here, basically. All right. So they walk outside, and it's, the red blues are flashing. And it's another lady cop, a lady that we have not seen anywhere else. At least I have not. And she places Madam under arrest. She doesn't really say why. She doesn't really say much of anything other than put your hands behind your back. You better not resist. And Amp is telling Madam, like, listen, just cooperate. Like, don't get hostile. Like, let's just see this thing out, right? And so they arrest her, but they only take her. Like, they put Madam in the back of the car, and they back up, and they leave Amp and Tommy standing right there looking goofy. Which Amp tells her later on, like, listen, them people weren't cops. I've been in prison and I've been around cops a lot. Those people were not cops. I don't know who they were or what they were, but y'all are into something deep. And y'all need to figure out what the hell's going on. All right. Now they're getting ready to leave the warehouse, and the car won't crank. So they not only have they taken Madam, left them two over there, and they did something to the car. So it's like, we got her, and you are not going to be able to follow us and see where we're going. We taking her, I don't know if it's hostage or whatever. So now they can't move. They just sitting there looking crazy. And for me, I think it's Miss, what's her name? Lavender? Whatever her name is. The concierge's wife. I think she's already implemented her plan to avenge herself for being embarrassed by her husband being with Madam publicly. That's what I think, which is premature because your husband had already fixed it earlier in the day by giving her a new point person. So you may have already screwed up the church's money by being fast, but we'll see. Anyway, so we'll see what happens with Madam. Like, is she going to jail? Is she gonna be tortured? Like, somebody has finally been able to get close enough to her to do her something, which that's the only person I can think of is concierge's wife, who can pull off something like that. So I don't know. I'm sure we'll see next week. Anyway, that has been season 2, episode 14. Let me know what you think about the episode. Like, comment, share, subscribe, or whatever it is that you feel like doing, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.